Are Zowie mice still viable in 2021? Does it actually make sense to buy an EC2 or an FK2 when there are other options available for cheaper prices and more modern features? The mouse enthusiast community has long forgotten about any Zowie mouse, and we are mostly just expecting some improvements from them. For example, people have been hoping for Zowie to improve their cables and make their mouse weigh less for quite a while. But let's go take a look at my favorite mice of their lineup, and I'll give you my opinion regarding their value. So my favorites are the FK2, the EC2, the S2 and the CA13. All of these mice have the same rubber cable, the same stock feet, the same sensor and the same switches. But click feeling varies quite a lot regarding which model we're talking about. The EC2 and the S2 have the more easier to actuate clicks, and the FK2 and the CA13 have more tactile clicks. The sensor is the 3360 and the performance is solid with all of these. The weight of course varies quite a bit on the models. The EC2 is 90 grams, the S2 is 82 grams, the FK2 is 80 grams, and the CA13 is actually 75 grams. So the CA13 is actually in quite a good weight level already. The Zowie stock feet used to be prime feet quite a while ago, but these days they are not that great. On some slow pad the feet feels just way too slow, but on faster pads the feeling on these Zowie feet is actually quite alright. For example, on the Endgame Gear MPC 450 the feeling is quite good. The rubber cables on these Zowie mice are quite famous. They are quite stiff and they hold their shape. With these cables you benefit a lot from a solid cable handling solution. But if you are usually bothered by cables, you will definitely need to paracord these mice. Moving on to shapes and starting with the FK2, this is a very familiar shape for a lot of people. The FK2 is a flat profile, small to medium sized mouse. It's mostly meant for claw and fingertip grip. With smaller hands, you might be able to palm grip this mouse. The FK2 shape is one of my all-time favorites, but the thing with this mouse is that it has quite a bit of competition. For example, these days there are the Xtrfy M42 and the Ducky Feather. Both of these mice have very close to the same shape and they are overall much better. And they are even cheaper. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy the FK2 because there are these two mice available. And quickly moving to the EC2, that's a very famous and popular mouse among CSGO players. It's still one of the most used mice among CSGO pro players. The mouse is ergonomic and it's medium sized. It's very good for most hand sizes and for people that claw or palm grip. The EC2 has some competition, and that comes from the glorious Model D-. The Model D- is again cheaper and it offers better features. There are some slight differences between these two shapes, but if you like the EC2, you will most likely like the D- as well. So it's again very hard to recommend the EC2 over the D-. Let's keep this fast pace up and move the S2. The S2 is a unique shape. It's sort of a flat mouse that has still a pronounced hump. It is small to medium sized and it's also good for claw and fingertip grip. With small hands you might be again able to palm this. For me, this shape is very comfortable, but I just don't like it in game at all. It's sort of in between a flat and a high profile mouse. It ends up being quite weird for me in game as I don't want to get used to it and I don't aim very well with it. The S2 shape does have quite a lot of fans though, and I know a lot of people do love this shape. It does not have that much competition, there is basically only the pony symmetrical. I'm gonna review that one in about 3 weeks, so more information later. So at the moment I can recommend the S2, but you should definitely watch some pony symmetrical reviews before you buy the S2. At the time of recording this, I know that Schaefer and Borgi have their reviews up, so check those out. By the way guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 3000 subscribers. So the last one is the CA13. It's a one-of-a-kind shape that has no competition whatsoever. It has a very high and pronounced hump on the back of the mouse, and the front is very low profile. It's very good for claw, fingertip and palm grip. But if you have very small hands, it might be too high profile for you, and large hands definitely won't be able to palm the CA13. The sides are nicely curved and the mouse feels very good in general use and in games. The shape is just very unique and very good in my opinion. I am aiming very well with it in games. I basically broke all my Kovac scores and dropped some 30 bombs in Valorant. I'm surprised that I do perform so well with it, and I'm surprised that I actually like it. Usually I prefer claw grip on these little bit lower profile mice like the Razor Viper Ultimate and the Xtrfy M42 with the low hump. It just gives me good mobility and I still have good control of the mouse. But for some reason this hump seems to work for me very well with my grip style and hand size. I'm sort of changing full claw grip and pincher claw grip with this mouse. With pincher claw, only the right side of my palm is pretty much touching the mouse. This shape feels very versatile for different kind of claw grips. The issue with this mouse is that the cable is quite bad, the stock feet are quite bad, and the price is way too high. But if you want to try out the shape, there is just no other option. And that is why you have to pay the 80 bucks or 80 euros. I will start recommending CA13 for some people, and that's something I really did not expect to do in 2021. If we forget my favorite Zowie mice, there are options for those who prefer larger mice and have larger hands. The ones that do not have competition are the S1, the FK1 Plus, the CA11 and the CA12. But again, I would only recommend these to large hands and those who prefer larger mice. That's pretty much it for this video. Taking a look at the Zowie lineup was at least interesting for me, and I hope it was for you as well. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, and see you in the next one.